What's up? Welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Rae Sremmurd's fourth album, Sremm for Life. Yes, Rae Sremmurd, Swae Lee, and Slim Jxmmi, the brothers, they're back. First album since 2018. It's been so long. We've been waiting so long for another Rae Sremmurd album. Obviously, both these guys have been doing solo work, never broken up by any means, but they've been, featuring other people's songs, doing their thing. But I have been really waiting for a new Rae Sremmurd album. It's been such a long time, and I really love their discography to this point. I think they're a great duo and have just a ton of certified bangers to their name at this point. And I was really hoping they could come back and do more of the same. And I'm very happy to say that they did. Sremm Life 4, Sremm for Life, Sremm Life 4, whatever you want to call it, is good. It's a good record. I'm really happy about it. And I had a lot of reservations about this album that, had me waiting with bated breath at least a little bit. And that would really just start with Swae Lee. Swae Lee is very popular as a soloist at this time, especially as a featured guest. People probably know this at this point, but Sunflower, Post Malone, is the sixth most stream song on Spotify, 2.6 billion streams. And Unforgettable, Swae Lee's feature on the French Montana song, is the 81st most streamed song on Spotify, 1.6 billion streams. Since those songs have come out, and they're both pretty old at this point, Swae Lee's done a lot of similar types of features. He hasn't been too much of a rapper. And what I was worried about with a new Rae Sremmurd album would be that Swae perhaps would really go fully into the singing lane and leave a lot of the hip hop stuff behind. And I was a bit worried about that because my favorite Swae Lee is rapping Swae. I think that's him at his absolute best. And he has, those singing chops. He has the melodic hip hop ability that he can do sing rap, and it's really great. But I was just worried that he would leave the rap part of that behind. And thankfully, he really didn't on this album, which I was quite happy about. And I mean, just going right into it, going through this track list, it's pretty robust 14 songs, 48 minutes. I think a bunch of these songs, and it also was really nice about this is there's a bunch of loose singles that Rae Sremmurd had put out over the past, 6 months or so. Not all of them are here. So they really put a lot of thought, I think, to this full track list, which I like because I didn't love all those singles. So it's nice to see them really, I think, kind of lean into it and I think deliver a really, I think, engaging album where Swae and Jxmmi both sound, I think, very energetic, but also they kind of switch up their flows and their delivery styles quite a bit. Jxmmi leaning into a bit of the melodic hip hop as well. Obviously that was not where he started as a rapper at all. And Swae, of course, I think differentiating it just enough for me that I wasn't, too worried about some of my reservations. So, but just kind of going into this, I think the first song, Origami Hotties, is pretty fun, really solid. I like that one. And then before you know it, though, you get track 4, Not So Bad, Lean's Gone Cold. And that is a song where Swae Lee, it's really a Swae song, Swae interpolates Dido's Thank You, which is, of course, famously the sample to Eminem's Stan. And Swae, I think, is just so talented that he can really, sing the Dido stuff more or less, but obviously switch up his lyrics. It sounds so good, and it's basically like a rework of Dido's Thank You, and it sounds really tremendous. And that's just something that only someone like Swae Lee can really pull off. I think it's really great. Bend Your Knees, I love the piano key on that, but I think lyrically that's like kind of obviously like TikTok bait. Anything that's like super directional about how to move, like you can tell that's for a TikTok challenge. But hey, I would not be mad if that song went viral on TikTok because hey, uh, they kind of invented this, Rae Sremmurd, with the Black Beatles mannequin challenge, which predated TikTok. So they kind of earned it. And of course, they've had a lot of TikTok success since then with some of their older songs, like Come Get Her, for example, kind of blew up on TikTok a few years back. So if Bend Your Knees is kind of blatant TikTok bait, I don't mind. It's okay. Right after that, though, I think is probably the best song on the album to me, which would be Activate featuring Future. Man, that song is so fucking fire. Swae sounds incredible. He switches up his flow on this a lot. Jxmmi's great. Even Future, who you don't really need on the song, but Future sounds really good too, fits right in. I think that's my favorite song. Right after that, you have Flaunt It Cheap, which I think is quite good as well. YMCA, I think Swae's flow is incredible on that. Something I'm Not, probably the best example of Swae giving you that melodic, like sung rap. He again sounds great on that, and I mean, this is really just a great showcase for Swae, his talent. And Jxmmi also, throughout all of this, he's really able to keep up and match Swae. If you think back on Sremm 3 in 2018, obviously that was a triple disc album, Rae Sremmurd album, as well as a Jxmmi solo and a Swae solo. it's quite clear to me that these guys are just better together, and they've been able to grow together and give you a lot more to their music. Like I said, I really love rapping Sway the most. I'm thinking of like Set the Roof off Sremm Life too, like Sway like really going hard with the rapping, stuff like No Type, obviously, the hallmarks of the past. You don't really get him going like that hard rapping on Sremm for a Life. And he hasn't really done that in a long time anyway. Like even like the best songs off Strength Life 3, like Power Glide, for example, he's not going like that hard. Not He just doesn't do that anymore. So I've kind of let that go as like what I expect. But he still, I think, raps enough on this album to keep me happy. And Jimmy, like I said, just has continued to get better with every single release and is quite, I think, impressive artist in his own right. He just has a lot of charisma and a lot of like funny lines. Like I love Jimmy. So yeah, I'm just quite pleased with Srem for Life. I really was hoping this would be good, and it was. I would love them to go on their own headlining tour. If you look at the history of Rae Sremmurd concert tours, they've largely gone on tour in support of other bigger acts and have like barely done any of their own headlining. I would love to see them headline their own show. I saw them at a festival way back in 2018, so it's been a minute, but yeah, rooting for that because I think they earn it. They deserve it. So Strum for Life, total success. I'm just so happy Ray Shremmerd's back, and I hope the next album isn't a 5-year wait as well. But let me know how'd you feel about the new Ray Shremmerd album, and let me know. For more hip hop reviews, music reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.